My boyfriend and I have been in a poly relationship, and he has been found another girlfriend who I am okay with, but now that I also found a girlfriend that I am interested in, he's backtracking and said he doesn't like his woman with another person, and doesn't want me dating other people. Posted by u/Manlita15. Cross-posted with relationships because someone suggested. I, 22F, am in a poly relationship with my boyfriend of 2 years. I'll put names to make things easier to read. My boyfriend, John, 23M. His girlfriend, Sarah, 23F. My girlfriend/crush? Mary, 23F. I'll start by saying that I'm an asexual woman, and I made it clear to my boyfriend before we started dating. It was a bit hard because he had a very old-school upbringing, but he accepted it. He has a low sex drive, so it's not that much of an issue. I've always been interested in poly relationships, and when he broached the topic about it, I was happy to agree to try. Long story short, he found a girlfriend, Sarah, who I actually like. I wouldn't say we're going to be best friends, but she is not someone I feel uncomfortable around, and it's been mostly okay. John looks happy, he has more motivation, and he talks all the time about how much of a good idea this was. I haven't had a lot of luck though. My asexuality has blocked a lot of possible relationships, and I've been studying like crazy, so I barely had time to sleep. I'm part of a couple of asexual online communities and started talking to a girl, Mary, and we really hit it off. We're both ace, we have a lot of common interests, and she's funny as hell. A couple of my friends have met her and everyone says we're perfect together. I wanted to introduce her to John. Just for the record, I talked to Mary and she's interested in me too. I wanted to tell him in person, so I told him to come earlier. He got late, Mary got there before him, and I decided to let him know her before everything. He really liked her and was singing her praises afterward. When I got home, he came with me. I told him I really liked her and I could see us dating. He went really quiet and I got anxious. He then started telling me that he thought this wasn't a good idea, that I didn't know what I was doing, that she wasn't that funny, and, as I quote, she's not even pretty. I'm not proud of it, but I lost it. I told him to get out of my house and that a poly relationship wasn't just for his benefit. The next day, Sarah called me and said she wanted my side of the story. Apparently, I was crazy. I wanted to move out with a girl I met once, and he thought she was an alcoholic. I explained to her and she went to talk to him. First, he said I lied but got caught. Then he changed his tune and said that she must have misunderstood. In short, she's pissed, I'm pissed. Yesterday he sent me a message admitting that he was wrong. He said he had a very traditional upbringing and that came out with a very sexist idea. He didn't like his women with another person and he was sorry. I don't know. I feel hurt, angry, and I can't take this feeling like he thought I'd never get anyone. He did seem to regret what he said, though. What should I do? Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Personally, I would be pissed off at the lies too. I'd make it clear that isn't acceptable. Only you can figure out what you should do. The biggest thing to do, I would think, is communicate. It sounds like he wants to be poly while he wants you to be monogamous. That doesn't sound like something you are interested in. In which case, it wouldn't be a good idea to do it just to make him happy. Make it clear to him that you will be seeing other people and having other relationships. If he can't handle that, then you have to figure out if what he wants will work for you or not. Regardless of how he was raised, he is an adult now and can make his own decisions and his own beliefs. How he was raised doesn't excuse his behavior. If you like this girl and she likes you and you think something could develop, I would pursue it. Hopefully you can get it all figured out and be happy with the results. Ops response. Thanks for answering. I definitely don't want to be monogamous and him being poly. I'll text him and ask to have a conversation face to face, maybe next week. He did sound truly regretful, and I will talk about his lies. We'll see. Commenter 2. You were right to lose it at him. He doesn't respect your decisions and he's not supportive. While his input can be valuable if he presents and supports it well, this behavior is BS. He doesn't get to decide who you date and he certainly doesn't get to insult that person. He's a liar and a manipulator? Insulting and lying about you to someone else is emotional abuse. No amount of traditional upbringing makes up for any of that, let alone the misogyny, or even the basic respect for your autonomy and decision-making abilities. Regret isn't enough, even if it is sincere in the moment. The only thing that matters is that he immediately changes for the better. No excuses, no BS. He needs to never effing do any of this again and instead be actively supportive of you. You need to have not just a talk with him, but a talk with Sarah, independently of him. All of you need to read up on emotional manipulation and abuse techniques, so that you can actively label those things when you see them. If he does anything like this ever again, You all need to effing leave because you are all in danger. Personally, I'd throw his bum right out the goddamn door. Do not tolerate or make excuses for abuse. Don't wait for him to hit you. Or worse. Ops response. Thank you for answering. I'll talk to him next week and we'll see how it goes, but yeah, I'm leaning more towards breaking up. I've been talking more to Sarah since this blew up and she's pretty mad. She's going to her hometown this weekend, so they won't be able to see each other. I'll keep her updated. Commenter 2. Lying about one partner to the other as a way of dividing and separating people, especially loved ones, is always 100% malicious, controlling, and abusive. Be sure to frame it to him in that way so he understands that this absolutely cannot be accepted. You deserve far better than that. Good luck. Update 1 week later. So, my post didn't get that much attention, but I figured I'd post an update. Sorry for the length, guys, it was a crap show. Just a quick summary: I'm asexual, in a poly relationship with a boyfriend, John, who also has a girlfriend, Sarah, and I met a girl, Mary, who I was interested in. Basically, I told him, and even though he liked her before I said we might date, he started freaking out and even lied to Sarah. I asked if we could talk on Tuesday since I didn't have class the next day. He agreed, and we decided to meet up at his apartment after classes, by the end of the day. I texted Sarah to let her know I'd be talking to him about the situation, and she asked me to call her after. I wasn't sure I'd like to talk right after but said I'd text her if I wanted to be alone or in silence. I talked to a friend who lives close by to see if we could hang out after the talk because this kind of thing always shoots my anxiety through the roof, and having someone I trust around helps a lot. I got to his house, and even before I could say anything, he started to apologize. At first, it seemed okay, but then he said something like, "Oh, I was being really stupid worrying about you in another relationship. You won't have sex anyway, and besides, she's a girl, so it doesn't count." All my whats. I asked what the F he meant by that, and he said that he didn't have a problem with girls having sex, but that it showed they didn't respect themselves, and you couldn't really take seriously a relationship with someone who did this. But that I didn't have to worry because I was pure and a real woman and whatnot. I was furious. Did he actually think this was right or that it would make me happy? But instead, I asked, "But what about Sarah?" He answered, "Oh, she's not seeing anyone else right now." I said something like, "What if she was? You're in a poly relationship. She might fall in love with another man and they might have sex." At this point, I was completely sure I'd be breaking up, but what he said after made me lose a portion of my faith in humanity. He said, "I like Sarah, but everyone knows she's not a girl to get married to. I mean, not even her parents wanted her, she's adopted." WTF. I was speechless. I don't know if he thought my silence meant I agreed with him, but he kept talking. "You know, she even got adopted to another couple, and they sent her back. This all just shows there's something wrong with her. I like having fun with her, but I'd never even think about spending the rest of my life with someone like that." At this point, I said I was done. I told him he was the most disgusting person I'd ever seen and that he was the lowest human I had ever talked to. He then tried to stop me from leaving, but I made it clear that if he didn't let me leave, I'd F him up so much his grandsons would feel it, lol. He let me leave. I cried the entire walk to my friend, which freaked her out since I almost never cry. We opened a bottle of vodka and ate the curry she made. I love this girl, lol, and I cried a lot. Well, guess who calls? I'd forgotten to text Sarah, and she got worried. So I was crying my heart out, half a bottle of vodka in, and talking to her. I said it all. I don't really remember what she said, but I knew things were bad. I woke up, went home, showered, and ate. Slept a lifetime. Woke up to my phone ringing. Sarah was calling. Apparently, she was furious and left her hometown on Wednesday. She was supposed to stay until Easter, and went to John's house. It was, apparently, a crap show. At first, he tried to deny it but got caught in his own lies. Then he tried to justify. Like, WTF. Finally, she broke up and left. Turns out she went home and realized she forgot her key at her parents' house, and her roommate was traveling. She called me, and I invited her to spend the night. We opened a bottle of wine and ordered some pizza. So there it is. Sarah is okay, as fine as someone can be, went back to her hometown. John is F because Sarah's family is very influential in the area he intended to work, and I'm fine, I guess. Pretty much shocked, and I'm not sure if it has sunk in. So yeah, have been better, have been worse. Thanks for the advice, guys. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Not even her parents wanted her. I noped the hell out for a moment right there before I realized I needed to know what Sarah did. Good on both of you. That was a roller coaster. Lots of love to you in this hard time. Hopefully, you weren't completely blindsided. Most people look back and see signs of this kind of thing coming that help them form better relationships with more trustworthy people in the future. You're both all the better for this. Ops response. Thank you. I went knowing we'd probably break up, but never in my wildest assumptions did I imagine he'd say something like this. I want to talk to Sarah and see what their relationship was like. Maybe it was because I was pure and his parents liked me, but I was 100% blindsided. I figured he had issues with gender equality and we might break up because of this, but I never thought he was thinking things like this. But that's okay. Better now than never. Commenter 2. Holy crap. That guy is garbage. I'm glad he got dumped by 2 women in a very short period of time. He deserves it. Ops response. Right? Unfortunately, a pro-level revenge of me, Sarah, and Mary dating won't happen, but we agreed we have an indestructible bond for dumping the same guy for the same reason in 2 days. Also, I made reservations at his favorite restaurant for his birthday in 2 weeks, so now me and Sarah are going to have an awesome dinner with loads of IG and Snapchat included lol.